Few things are worse than feeling meaningless. Our day-to-day lives can be so mundane that in a blink of an eye, another year passes. And when we look back, it can be difficult and even disappointing to not be able to clearly identify inflection points that made us feel happy or feel accomplished. This is why I believe that setting goals, any goals, and charting a path to get there is the only way to be able to look back at the end of the year and know without a shadow of a doubt that 365 days didn't go by unfulfilled. I made goals at the end of 2019, and it probably comes as no surprise that most of them weren't reached. Some, like my income goals, have a legitimate excuse, but others, like my fat loss ones, don't. But regardless, having set those goals and pursuing them through a plan has been the single determinant of staying motivated through the most messed up year as a collective global society we've experienced. You see, in my desperate attempt at reaching my income goals, I abandoned everything else in the last quarter of 2020 and really doubled down on trying to earn more money. Cutting off social media full stop, getting too relaxed with the diet, and telling myself it was all in the name of focusing on getting paid work. I stopped sharing here on YouTube, I stopped staying super strict with keto and intermittent fasting, and I just convinced myself that I was hustling. But all of that didn't yield the results I was after, whether it's because I haven't developed the smarts or the skills yet, or because of the pandemic, whatever the reason, despite the focused attempt, I failed in my pursuit for the income goals I had set at the beginning of 2020, and like I said, abandoned all the other goals as well. So what's the plan for 2021? Here are the specifics. 1. When it comes to physical health, my goal is to drop down to 17% body fat by year's end, by staying consistent with clean and healthy keto combined with intermittent fasting, with a maximum eating window of 4 hours a day. 2. When it comes to money, the pandemic, it's really sobering. Runway has dried up quite a bit, but even more upsetting, seeing how it's affected so many people I know, from closed businesses to layoffs, and just the insurmountable strains so many people are under financially, has really made me realize that at the end of the day, we, ourselves, we can only truly count on ourselves for any semblance of financial stability. And so uncovering modest, yet successful entrepreneurship in a real way is the primary aim. So what's my goal? My goal is to build 72,000 Canadian dollars in 2021 through my own activities, not relying on a job, not relying on a steady paycheck, but by brainstorming, testing, validating, and executing on entrepreneurial ideas, and of course, sharing the lessons I learned along the way right over here. I suppose a bigger version of the goal is to figure out how to self-generate income, completely bootstrapped, and hopefully inspire others to start a side hustle with clear, actionable, and proven steps. 3, for my mind and broadening the breadth of my skills and experiences, I'd like to issue myself an extra challenge every month. That idea I touched on at the beginning of the video, of the pain of realizing at the end of the year that the trip around the sun may have felt kind of meaningless. It gave birth to this plan of having a fresh monthly challenge, and I'm interested in seeing how punctuating the year with 12 distinct, completely new, deep-dived experiences beyond the daily grind will affect the way I reflect on the year at the end of 2021. Speaking of which, January's challenge is eating literally the exact same one ketogenic meal a day at the exact same time every single day for all of January, staying keto, staying OMAD, and seeing how it affects my life both positively and negatively. Now, part of this January challenge, which I'm starting today, was born of the disappointment of having been way too relaxed with my dietary choices over the past 2 to 3 months, and wanting to kickstart the year with a reset of sorts. Another part, though, is seeing the benefits of learning about minimalism in 2020, and wondering if, and if so, at what point the point of diminishing returns is. This bleeds into the thing I'm most thankful I got to experience and validate over the past year, which is building the discipline and confidence to know that no matter how potentially undesirable, I personally can now battle through one single month of anything. And best of all, more often than not, what I thought was undesirable actually ended up benefiting me and even becoming enjoyable. I'd like to experience and test that 12 times this year, and of course, we'll report back after each of these challenges. So be sure to subscribe if you're interested. What interests me is, what are your goals? Do any of you have relationship-based goals like wanting to commit to spending more time with family? Are any of your goals similarly aligned with mine? Are any of your goals ones that are kind of forcing you to face your fears? Please let me know in the comments what they are. Because the more I think about the directionality of this channel, it's hoping to see how everyone defines what getting it together means individually, charting a path and achieving it. By the way, if you'd like to follow along these challenges in more detail, I'll be sharing more detailed lessons and insights over the private Facebook group you can find the link to in the description below. What are your goals for the next trip around the sun? Let me know. See you guys in the next one.